Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AEW Double or Nothing 2023 card preview. I am one of your hosts, Daniel, joined by my other two hosts.
It's Roman.
Hey, Chris.
So today, we got an interesting video. We're going to be discussing what we believe will be the card for Double or Nothing 2023. The pay-per-view is 2.5 months away, but based off what we saw on Dynamite, I think we got a good idea of what we're about to get. So, without further ado, let's dive into this. 0 Hour. Hookhausen and the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. Listen, man. Jeff Jarrett needs that pay-per-view payday. Then put it on the fucking pre-show.
No,
That's all I really have
put
to
him
say
on the
about
main card, you coward. We need that slap nuts.
You know what? If he is on the main card, that's my piss break match. I don't care if he's facing Kenny Omega. That'll still be my piss break match.
I'm not gonna let you go, man. And Berman's gonna stop your ass from leaving.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Trip you up.
I'll find a way.
I'll fucking hit you with my guitar.
Bitch. Alright. We'll see if you can bring a guitar. Bitch. You said you were gonna hit someone with a guitar. You chickened out. There was no guitar.
Oh.
Make a cardboard guitar.
Well, there you go, man. You know, I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say it how it is. Jeff Jarrett doesn't need these fucking clouds. He doesn't need Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. He doesn't even fucking do anything. He's the great Khali.
I mean, Jeff Jarrett doesn't do anything.
That's not true. He struts around like a Chad. I mean, yeah, he does it in every match. But, you know, it's iconic,
He's still Ric Flair's strut, and he doesn't even do it half as well, because he's a geek.
Bro, Ric Flair's old, alright? He almost died.
You know what? Don't even say that, because Ric Flair is actually a top 10 of all time. Jeff Jarrett couldn't even be in the top 250 of all time. Bro, fucking sucks.
Bro, Ric Flair couldn't do half the shit Jeff Jarrett did in TNA. But that's besides
You're such a fucking boomer, you don't even know what their past were before TNA.
Anyways, Bourbon, what do you think about this match?
Really, I'm in the same agreement with Danny. I don't want to see him in this match. Don't get me wrong, he's funny. He's always funny to watch, but I don't want to see a match in the main card be a very jokester match. I don't need to see that right now. So to me, I'm perfectly fine being in it 0 hour myself.
Oh, understandable. But he's still my homeboy.
Well, do you think this match will be fun?
Yeah.
I think so.
Next, TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. This could be on the main show, but I think for the sake of not crowding the main show too much, that we're going to have to put some matches on the pre-show. This will be one of those matches. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. And I think Taya will get the job done.
I do hope it's the same thing. I love Taya myself. She's been great to watch in a lot of different shows. So I'm hoping that she takes that title because, and we talked about this before we got on air, if Taya Valkyrie does not win that match, something's happening with Taya Valkyrie. That something rated R is happening in the back in the curtains.
He means go.
Huh?
Nani?
Like, I'm convinced half the SWAT are better than her, and she's still undefeated. I am convinced there's some political BS going on back there. I'm getting near that point.
Listen, man, Tony Khan.
She's not even good. She's stupid always when we watch. She needs to get rid of that title or just get rid of the title in general because the title is useless being in her hands.
I'm going to agree with you, Berman. But I think they're only doing this just for, publicity. I don't want to be
Chris, anything from you?
I don't want to be that guy. But maybe it's just to be safe. He's like, oh, see, because wasn't there like an incident like back on Twitter? I think it was from like a former AEW star of accusing Tony of being like racist and not letting like black people have the belt. so maybe that's why he's hesitant in it. But
what, 2 years ago?
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's still on that shit. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's wrestling at the end of the day. Jade Cargill
He's
sucks.
insecure.
Yeah.
Oh, now both my TNT and TBS champ are people of color. I'm
Right.
not a racist, Leo. See? That's like
See?
what Tony's basically trying to say here.
Basically.
It's
And
like, all
instead
right,
of,
I get it.
Yep.
instead of that, Leo Rush kind of got his work to be champion because he's actually going to go against the champion, the New Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion soon.
New Japan Junior Heavyweight champ. Isn't that still Takahashi?
Yeah, I totally forgot his name. Hiromu. He's going to
Yeah.
be fighting against him soon.
Gotcha. All right, next card. Or next match in the card. This is actually confirmed online. There will be a 21-man casino battle royal, and the winner will get in a future AEW championship match. And all the names I have listed here are kind of just, associations I've come up with, or assumptions, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are the people I've listed. Samoa Joe, Mark Briscoe, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Takashita, Action Andretti, Bandito, Commander, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon, Pac, Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Dustin Rhodes, Jake Hager, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Top Flight, Preston Vance, and the Joker, whoever that may be. So, you can say someone who's not even on this lineup. Who do you guys see winning the Battle Royal?
Yeah, to me, actually, I would like to see Ethan because that's a good card because of the rivalry between him and MJF that doesn't really shine right now.
I could see it, but I have a wild ass prediction, and it may or may not happen because it's a 0 hour. But I would like to believe that CM Punk shows up for this thing towards the end and kind of wins it, and then that's how you build off the next big thing at the pay-per-view. I could be wrong, but that makes sense to me.
Punk planned on this card.
I want Konosuke to win though. He's my boy.
I think Konosuke would make the most sense based off, the fact that they got some unfinished business from February.
Yeah. And same with that too, is that probably the Joker, and I'm kind of want to bet this because of this. And it depends on if the what's it called, Ricky Starks and Juice Robinson doesn't take off. I feel like the Joker might be Jay White if the sale is complete for him. The Joker could be Jay White and winning that title.
That's true.
Or winning that feature shot.
And New Japan Forbidden Door is coming up too soon after this pay-per-view, right?
Yep, it's literally 4 weeks after Double or Nothing. So if what Berman is saying, Jay White comes in and win, that easily sets up Jay White versus whoever wins in the main event 4 weeks later at Forbidden Door. So I can see it, but I doubt MJF would retain then. I doubt we would do MJF versus Jay White. That's just me.
To me, that sounds like a fucking amazing match to see because those two have the same personality, saying I don't give a fuck about anything.
But it's kind of like doing Roman versus Gunther, Neither guy can lose, so it's kind of just a bad match to book.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting if the Bullet Club comes around too, because that's gonna be kind of a big harassment to MJF getting pissed off.
That's true. And I was thinking too, who could show up with the Bullet Club? Cody Rhodes for one last match.
I do have a hot take though.
Well,
a very steamy hot take.
And what's that, Chief?
Bullet Club needs to die.
Or you can leave the podcast.
No. Let me explain. So we started off with Prince Devitt, right? Great leader. And then AJ Styles, the best leader they've ever had. And then Kenny Omega. He didn't fit the leader role as well as AJ, but he still did a fantastic job of leading the Bullet Club. And then we go to Jay White, who did great, but he couldn't fill in the toes of AJ or Kenny. And now, David Finlay. I'm sorry. I don't fucking buy David Finlay. I'm not a fan.
I like it, but there's something else about this. I'm going to kind of defend a little bit because I think actually the Bullet Club will probably die. I think they're going to go on to separate ways because I feel like they're going to make a new faction that is the Rebel Club now. Because I think that's how it sounds like with them. I don't think it's going to be the Bullet Club anymore. I feel like it's just they're going to either disband or they're going to change the name to the Rebel Club, and anyone who wants to stay stays. Anyone who wants to go, they go to a different faction wherever they want to go. That's how I can see New Japan right now, kind of pacing itself to the demise of Bullet Club.
Interesting. So, for my prediction who would win, I would actually pick Konosuke. I think Konosuke would win and get a title match in June or July. Not at Forbidden Door, but probably on the Dynamite episode. Because I think we do something bigger for Forbidden Door. Maybe bring in a Naito to face the world champ. That'd be lit.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. And Konosuke's
So-
gonna beat him, right?
What?
And Konosuke's gonna beat him, right?
Imagine Konosuke versus Naito. That would be dope.
That'd be good too.
Well, we'll have to see, man. Now, you guys ready to talk about the main show?
Yeah.
All right, match 1. Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland. So they could have done the match at Revolution, but clearly they're letting the story cook a little more, and they're going to do it at Double or Nothing. The right decision, in my opinion. And as for who wins, I think Keith Lee should win, but I think the win would go to Swerve because he has like a new group of nobodies with him.
That's not true.
So-
His name's Parker.
Yeah, nobodies.
So nobody.
He's Brock Lesnar for AEW.
And then what? I saw this little thing. Was the Keith Lee tag team with Dustin Rhodes a one-off, or is that like a permanent thing?
I think it's just more like a friendship.
'Cause I was about to say, if that's a permanent thing, they basically split up a tag team to put both of them in new tag teams. Just,
Yes.
I'm glad that Keith isn't permanently with Dustin, but that would have pissed me off if that was the case. Because then I felt like the whole breakup would have made zero sense to do in the first place.
Yeah, it's mainly because of Dustin Rhodes was getting beat up by Swerve, and pretty much Dustin needed a friend in that moment to be defended, and that's Keith Lee kind of came out. So it's more like a mutual friendship.
Fair. So, yeah. What do you guys expect from this match?
I expect.
To me, it's,
Oh, you go ahead. Sorry.
I think the match will be fun. It's going to be a fun rivalry match, and probably a lot of things from the Mogul affiliation and next to Swerve. But I'm hoping that Keith Lee wins. I think he's 100% going to win. It'd probably be a 7 for me.
You know what? I'll be fair. I'll give it a 7. I don't see Swerve not losing in this, and that's how you keep the rivalry. Besides, what was this faction called again? The Empire or something?
The Mogul.
The
Mogul
Empire of
affiliation.
Swerve. Oh, okay, thankfully he knows the name. I was about to say the pair of Swerve and Nobodies.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's the Mogul affiliation is their kind of name right now.
well, maybe this match might lead up to them doing something as the trios, and they can go after the belts and then lose. You know what I'm saying, man?
Well, we shall see.
And I gotta say something before we go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in the Mogul affiliation who he looks exactly like Tom McDonald. I gotta say, it's so funny to me. Every time I see him, like, is that Tom McDonald? He looks so exactly like him, like just a little bit less buff. It just looks so funny when I see it. Every time it looks like Tom McDonald.
All right, you know what? You can edit this part out if you want.
Don't
But-
fucking say it.
As someone with Asperger's, I feel like I am allowed to say it. When I first looked at him, I was like, is this guy fucking retarded?
No, we're keeping it in. Fuck that.
It's
All
so
right.
weird.
No.
You can't fucking cancel us. Fuck you.
Hey, Hey, I said it before. I have the Asperger card. I shoot burgers out my ass. No. All right, moving on.
Pause.
So, what?
Make that YouTube short right now. No context.
Gee, no context. All right. Now let's move on to the second match. AEW Trios Championship match. House of Black versus the Best Friends. So I think we've been seeing cracks in the Best Friends partnership recently. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Definitely.
Why are they still a thing? They suck.
So this is what I say figures. Basically, you have House of Black beat them, and you could have one of them get shot with the mist, maybe Trent, and then Trent starts to basically slowly turn heel against Orange and Chuck. And obviously, Orange and Chuck, I was about to say Cuck, Orange and Chuck can't be a tag team. So, obviously, they would still be friends on screen, but the Best Friends as a group wouldn't be a thing anymore. And who else would fight House of Black besides the Best Friends? Oh, well, maybe the Dark Order. Okay. So, I think the Best Friends makes the most sense.
Yeah. To me, I gotta say, I really love that Stu Grayson is back, too. If anyone else, I love that pretty much the full Dark Order, the original members of Dark Order are back. To me, I'm happy to see that. But it would be fun to see them, but the Best Friends kind of make more sense because I feel like they have this kind of history with a few members of the House of Black, too. So, to me, it sounds more fun to see this match. So, I'll probably give this maybe a 7, too.
I might give it. It's the Best Friends. I have no hope for this shit. It's gonna get a 7.
But it's Malachi, Buddy, and Brody.
But the Best Friends suck.
Honestly, though, let's be real. They don't really suck.
Yeah, they did. If it wasn't for Wheeler Yuta, nobody would have cared.
You mean Orange Cassidy?
Who? Just kidding.
Yeah, let's not act like Wheeler is more over than Orange.
I mean,
we might like Wheeler. We might like Wheeler more than Orange, but I think Orange is still a bigger name. Not by much, but still a bigger name.
Yeah.
So, this is what I'll say. I think they're really good wrestlers. And if you give them the opportunity to shine, they can. And I've seen Chuck and Trent in PWG and other companies. They're actually pretty good. This Best Friends gimmick isn't really them at their best. It's not. And I feel like once they get out of that shadow, they're really going to impress you and many others out there. And I personally hope that they split up. It's kind of like the New Day. You got 3 really good wrestlers in a group, but would be better all on their own.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Perfectly too. And I think Best Friends is pretty good. I think they just don't show the best of themselves in AEW right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, now next match. I think we're going to end the Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow rivalry, but how do we do it? In a last man standing match for the TNT Championship. Imagine a last man standing Hoss fight going all over the arena, having to take one or the other out for a 10 count. Sounds good to me. Would Wardlow win? I don't think so. I think it's Hobbs' time, and I think he's going to get a legit title win. But this could be fun if it's booked.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm still kind of because it's a weird, stupid. What's it called? QT Marshall being with Powerhouse Hobbs is just kind of weird because he's just a really stupid who hasn't done anything in the past years than like just super gimmicks and stuff. So it was kind of weird to see him pop up, and then like I thought Taz would have been the most pop up one to make sense, but like him makes no, like, it's kind of stupid to me to see this. But I kind of hope Wardlow win this match because I think Wardlow deserves this. They should have this better more than Hobbs right now. So it should probably say a 7, maybe 7.5. With if they do some good spots in this match, it would be fun to see.
And then I'll give it an 8 just because you can't really go wrong with a last man standing match. I mean, they're always going to be classics no matter how you put it. And you get two beasts in the ring with Powerhouse Hobbs and Warlord. It's going to be fun. I do want Hobbs to retain though. Warlord should be fine, but they need to build up new wrestlers as far as I'm concerned. And Hobbs deserves it more than ever. He needs more than just 2 weeks. He needs at least a month.
I was actually going to speak on QT Marshall.
Oh yeah.
From what I've known, I've done actually a bit more research on QT recently. He actually plays more of a big role like backstage, and he actually has trained a lot of the talent in AEW, believe it or not. So even though he's portrayed as a jobber, there might actually be a lot more to this guy, and I think they're going to give him that opportunity by doing this partnership with Powerhouse Hobbs. And it's kind of like a thank you, I guess, for putting over a lot of talent and helping out a lot backstage. So I guess that's what they're doing. It's more of a business thing, I guess you could call it.
That's true.
I get that too. Maybe something, but it's just weird to see even Hobbs and QT Marshall together than like another type of manager. That would make sense. Like to me, the firm, like for the firm's manager, makes more sense than anything else. Stokely Hathaway makes more sense to be with. So I don't know.
Now, you guys ready to hop into the next match?
Yeah.
Now, this next one, we're all probably going to say a different match. Owen Hart Cup Women's Final. So, we're a little uncertain on where the women's wrestling is going to go on this show because there's blood and guts, and that'll probably be a Dynamite special, just like last year was. So, and plus with Anarchy in the Arena 2 being very likely, I doubt they're going to do both Blood and Guts and Anarchy in the Arena. It would kind of, be a big waste to kind of just take Blood and Guts and not make it a special. So they're probably going to save it for a special in June, just like they did with, the Blackpool Combat Club and Jericho Appreciation Society story. So we're all not sure where the women's division is lying at Double or Nothing, because again, it's all going to be used as setup for Blood and Guts probably. So this is what I predict. I think we're going to do a rematch between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, because Ruby is clearly resentful about the fact that she came in and then that Grand Slam had her AEW Women's Championship match, which was, I believe, her first or second singles match in AEW. Lost. And then she had a second chance to beat Britt in the finals of the Owen Hart Cup. And again, lost. And ironically, it was also at last year's Double or Nothing. So this would be the third encounter between them. But this time, Ruby going over to conclude the trilogy. I think that's the likely scenario to happen here. Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker as the finals.
Yeah, and for me, that'll be a good finals to me, but I just don't know about it. To me, the more likely one for me is Ruby Soho and Rio, just because I feel like it's going to be the same concept with the Outcasts and the other group of the older generation of AEW. And I think it just makes more. It's gonna be interesting. I think they could probably definitely build to make the Rio versus Ruby work. So for me, Ruby versus Rio for the finals.
I'm okay with that, just due to the fact if I see Britt Baker in this goddamn tournament again, I'm gonna lose my shit. She already won last year. She doesn't need to win it again, and same with her husband. I don't want them nowhere near this goddamn tournament. They should be doing other things. Leave it to other stars. You know what I'm saying, man?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh.
So, you guys ready to hop into the next match? Or, well, actually, wait. What do you think will be the finals, Chris?
I'm thinking like maybe Jamie and Ruby. I think that'd be more interesting. Do you have like
But
a
then,
women's champion? Then what?
so no women's title match though.
I'm okay with that. You could save it for the next pay-per-view and then have Jamie face Mercedes Money and make that your main event.
I agree on doing Mercedes versus Jamie at Forbidden Door, but there should be a title defense. So we'll see though.
Oh no.
We'll see though.
Oh no.
Now, let's move on to match 5, the men's Owen Hart Cup finals. I think it will be Adam Cole trying to get it once again, and he will be facing the new upcomer AR Fox. Who wins here? Probably Adam Cole again.
No. Why?
That's why I just predict Maine.
No.
So don't be mad at me for thinking about what is most realistically going to happen. I ain't fantasy booking here. If I was fantasy booking, this would be a different card, Maine.
Or me.
Yeah. For me, I think it makes sense. I feel like Adam Cole is this a true face in AEW right now, and Adam Cole versus MJF is a perfect setup for Adam Cole finally getting that championship and getting everyone more into and pretty much becoming the face, a 100% face of AEW right now for Adam Cole, and the perfect comeback story for him. I think it's perfect for him to win, and it should be a great match even with AR Fox. So it definitely could be an 8, I would say.
But he doesn't need to wait. He won last year. We can't keep getting away with this. I won't let it happen.
Who do you see being the finals then?
I know it's gonna be Adam Cole. I don't want it to be Adam Cole. I'm thinking maybe it depends because if that shit, I'm trying to think of like an upcomer. But
Miro?
We can use people from the Casino Battle Royal as well.
Okay, because I was thinking more of maybe you can give Action Andretti. You give him a shot. I know he's more of a jobber, but you can have him like fighting somebody from the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society.
I'd say
men's
Mid Carter
Owen Hart?
more than Jobber at the moment.
That's true. I was thinking that because maybe you can have someone for the JES Society fight against Action Andretti, and they can have them win or lose at the Owen Hart. I think that'd be more interesting. And just give
Imagine
Adam
Jake
Cole-
Hager.
Well, not Jake Hager, but maybe like a Sammy versus Andretti.
He's
or
going to be
something.
busy, my friend.
Okay. What about Yuta versus?
Also going to be busy.
You're right. God damn it!
See?
I hate you. I hate you and Tony.
Oh.
I don't know, they could do. There's some other ideas they could do. Probably the best idea to me is maybe they put Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, there you go. Or get some
Action
ROH
versus
guys.
Samoa.
Ew.
That or Miro, if Miro wants to come back.
Oh crap.
Action versus Miro.
I don't know, man.
So, I mean, if Miro comes back, I would root for him to win the whole thing.
He should, dude. That's my homeboy. That's my cousin. That's my familia. That's my people.
Now, speaking of Jericho Appreciation Society, I see the group breaking up soon. They've been around for almost a year. No, actually a full year. And I don't know. I feel like they've done almost all they could have done with them by this point. And considering the focus is right now on like the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite, where does that really leave Jericho and his group in the long run? I don't know. I think it's slowly coming to an end, especially when you see Sammy going after the AEW title himself. That's also not a good sign for the rest of the group, in my opinion. So I see Chris Jericho versus Daniel Garcia happening. I think Daniel Garcia is finally going to stand up to himself and stand up against Chris Jericho and face him at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And I do hope something else too is that if that does happen, I'm hoping that maybe Daniel Garcia goes with the WCC. Because I think he's a perfect fit in that faction, and he will probably grow better in that faction.
Oh, yeah. That could work too. I wasn't even thinking that. I'm just like, but what would the story be though? Because Garcia already tried to turn like once, and he's like, no, never mind. It's fine.
Well,
I'm a pro
if you've
entertainer.
noticed though, even after that, there's still been signs of Garcia being annoyed about kind of having to put up with the sports entertainment crap. So eventually he's going to have to get fed up with it.
That's true.
He's been Sammy, and think about it, he's been the back boy to Sammy ever since he lost that final battle against Yuta. They have officially looked down on him ever since he lost to Yuta.
But would they have enough time to build that up in 4 weeks?
Not 4 weeks. As of right now, they have many weeks.
Oh yeah,
so they better get cooking. May 28th. So as of right now, they actually have over 10 weeks.
You know what's really messed up too?
Huh?
I think he's gonna be on Rampage tomorrow, if I'm not correct. Or am I tripping?
Who?
No, wait.
Mr.
No.
Daniel Garcia.
No, never mind. No, I'm wrong. I'm gonna. I messed up. It's fine. It's fine. Ignore me. That was just stupid.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now AEW Women's Championship match. I think there will be one. Jamie Hayter either facing Toni Storm in a rematch from Full Gear, or Thunder Rosa returning and getting her rematch that she never got, since she never even lost the title in the first place.
Yeah. Or Saraya.
Yeah, Saraya. That's the other option. Yeah, Saraya. I likely see Jamie versus Saraya being another very likely match that happens. So yeah, either Toni, Saraya, or Rosa. One of those three are facing Jamie, in my opinion.
What do you think, Permin?
To me, I'm okay with either Toni or Saraya would be my two for me. I think those two would be a good match to watch.
You know what? I'm with you too, except for Rosa. I don't want to see Rosa near this title shot. She needs to build herself up again and legitimize her victories. We can't just give it to her because she was out of action because of an injury.
No, that's not fair. She literally lost her title and never got her shot back. So Punk came back, he got his shot back. Finn Balor, he lost his title by injury, he got his shot back. It's tradition. If you lose your title by injury, not to someone else, you got to get a match for it.
Listen, man, I don't want to be that guy again, but she wasn't even that good of a champion to begin with.
Again, that does not matter. What matters is following the rules.
Man, fuck the rules, man. Man, fuck the rules of wrestling, man. This is not WWE shit. This is some AEW shit.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people criticize AEW because they call it the Wild West of wrestling because it doesn't even run on rules.
So why do we need to give her a shot?
Because we don't really need to make those accusations more true than they already are.
But she a scaredy cat.
Be a scaredy cat.
We don't need these kind of scaredy cats in my wrestling show. This is my goddamn double or
nothing. Listen, keep that hater mentality out of here.
Whatever. Point being, I just want anybody that's not Rosa. Rosa can come back when Jamie Hayter is not champion anymore. Then I won't complain.
So, I realized I made a mistake.
Oh.
In this part, this next match, I made a mistake. Let me fix that mistake. All right, mistake fixed.
Oh, so I want to say something before we get to the next match. Chris, would you rather have Jamie versus Britt or Jamie versus Ruby Soho?
I would say Britt Baker any day.
Hey, that's contradiction as all hell.
I'll take Britt Baker. Listen, man.
Or what about Jamie? What about Jamie Hayter? Sorry, Jamie Hayter versus what's it? Freaking just the lady was Thunder Rosa or Ruby Soho.
I think I'll take Ruby Soho.
All right, good. If you said the other one, it'd be more like super contradiction. It'd be just super.
Thunder Rosa is a good wrestler. She's just
I guess I'm the only one that wants to see Rosa versus Hayter.
Listen, she's a good competitor, but her mic skills are shit. All right, and it's not. You can't approve them. If you're just bad at that, that's fine. You can't approve it. You don't need to be a champion. You could be a mid-carder, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a mid-carder.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could be a Dante Martin.
I hate you.
I like Dante Martin, but mid-carder. Anyways, let's move on. Anarchy in the Arena 2. the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. But who exactly are on each team in Anarchy in the Arena 2? Kenny Omega, Adam Page, the Young Bucks, and a debuting Kota Ibushi. The reunited Elite, all of them except for Cody,
The
basically.
Golden Lovers.
Yep, the Golden Lovers. And you also got Omega Page. You got Page and the Bucks. You got all the family reunions all in one. And obviously, that's what we're kind of lining up for. At least, that's what I think we're lining up for. But then what about the Blackpool Combat Club? Well, Brian's confidence is shot after losing to MJF, and he's gone for a bit. But Mox, Claudio, and Yuta have all turned heel. And now they're beefing with the Elite. But you know who else was beefing with the Elite but in real life? CM Punk. So CM Punk's going to come back and instantly want revenge on Kenny Omega and the Bucks. And turn heel. And if you don't think Punk's first match should be against the Elite, you're out of your mind. The whole reason that he was sent out of AEW in September was because of his real life beef with the Elite, and people have not stopped talking about it since September. The money is in that, my friends. So Punk will temporarily, just for one time, join the Blackpool Combat Club. And Brian will return as well. So we got Brian, who will probably be a bit conflicted with the Blackpool Combat Club's heel turn, because he will still be a face. And he still had that attachment to William Regal, whereas the rest of them cast Regal away after Regal betrayed them for MJF. So I think this 5-on-5 is what makes the most sense from a narrative standpoint.
Yeah, it makes sense. And question for you is that actually is there a lot of rumors saying that about Kota Ibushi, or is that just you thinking that?
About what?
That Kota Ibushi is that a rumor that he actually will be debuting in AEW, or is that just you?
So this is the thing. From what I read up on, he wanted to try to make like his own wrestling company, and I don't know if that's still a thing. It's more than likely not anymore. But a lot of people recently have been talking about, will Kota go to WWE or AEW? And right now, that is not answered. But if I had to guess, it will be AEW. And let's be honest here. We can do the Elite reunion, sure. But there is no Elite without Kota Ibushi. To do this without Kota Ibushi would kind of be like having two members of the Ghostbusters do a reunion and forgetting about the other two. You know what I'm saying?
But they did that in the women Ghostbusters.
We're not going to talk about that. So that's my point exactly. See, if you don't bring in Kota, the story won't be complete.
All right. Makes sense. And I think I think this is probably going to be if anything else, it's going to be another number one match of the year for this one, because it really could, because of how good the cards look right now. The CM Punk is an interesting aspect, and even in this kind of a hardcore match, just came back is pretty interesting. So to me, sounds like a great match. I'm expecting like 9.5 out of 10 right now.
I kind of want this to be a classic. I mean, if this is all rumored to be true, that crowd is about to go absolutely nuts. And who knows, maybe you can have like a sequel between maybe one of these guys from the upcoming Forbidden Door. So there you go, at least another sort of thing. So it's perfect, man. Now, will it happen? Maybe. I'm really 50-50 on Kota Ibushi returning, because is he immensely good to wrestle again? Because I don't blame him if he's not. But I just
No,
wanna
he
make sure
is.
he's okay.
As of the beginning of this year, he was good. And he is no longer in contract. So that's why the big conversation right now is, will he go to WWE or AEW?
He going to AEW. I'll make sure it happens. I promise you.
Well, we shall see. So, all right, are we moving on to the next match, folks?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Now, AEW Tag Team Championship match. The Guns versus FTR. This has been a good story about, the Guns, who have basically been the, I guess you could say, privileged rookies. They've, have had their hand held by their father, but they've been ungrateful about the journey along the way. And they've been so arrogant and cocky that they tried to take out good old FTR back in December, and they even mocked them in a segment after they beat them. But the question is can they beat them again? Or were they just lucky that FTR were fatigued enough after facing, the Briscoes in a dog collar match, losing their titles in New Japan? They were really basically wrestling more than multiple times a week. So they were worked up. While the Guns, they got to play it safe. Have a few simple matches on Dark, maybe. So, this is the story here. Can the Guns really prove themselves as a true tag team? Or will FTR expose them as the privileged team we all believe they are? I like the story, and this may not be a perfect match, but I love what they're going for here. And if FTR win, that'll be such a huge moment, and I think that'll completely justify the Guns becoming champions.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing to me. It might not be the best match of the night, but it will be an okay match at the same time, probably like a 6 or 7. But to me, it should be great to see finally the FTR get the AEW championships back and pretty much held every single title except the Impact titles. But I think it's still a great showing right now. So I can't wait to see FTR win and the crowd pop to all hell. So FTR should win, should be a 6 or a 7.
If the Guns still retain for this match, I'm going to be kind of mad. I don't care about the Guns. Nobody wants the Guns. I don't want the Guns. Daddy Ass doesn't want the Guns. So why are they here? They're just filling the void for the Acclaim. That's the only reason why. So I hope FTR
Because FTR
wins.
can't beat the Acclaimed, or else it's not a huge moment.
But the Guns are jobbers.
Did you? No. Hold on. Did you watch Acclaim versus FTR? They booed
Yes.
FTR. They
That's true.
couldn't give FTR the moment. This is the way it has to be done, Chris.
I understand, but we couldn't use someone better. But
Who else
whatever.
are you guys going to boo? Don't say Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, because they're veterans and they don't need that momentum. These guys are at least new stars, so it makes sense.
And everyone hates it.
That's true. But still, you know what I'm getting at. I don't like the Guns, but it's necessary. But if they win, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I don't think they would.
They better not.
Well, you guys ready to move on to the main event?
Yeah.
The Four Pillars Fatal 4-Way. MJF versus Jack Perry versus Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. Back in 2019, when AEW once began, these four were regarded as the four pillars of AEW. The four who are in their 20s and will be the future of the company. That is what was proposed, I guess you could say. And has that come to fruition? I feel like it has for all four of them, for the most part. So yeah, that's good. But here's my issue. I think the match is fantastic. I think it'll be a match of the year candidate. And I definitely think it should happen. But when you look at all four of these guys in the years that we've had them, I feel like all four of them are ready to become a champion, an AEW world champion, except for Sammy. Because he doesn't really have many credible wins. I mean, sure, he has Cody, but that was before Cody left. I mean, Cody's last match when he did leave. When Darby beat him, it was a long-term story that was planned out from start to finish, basically. So Darby beating Cody felt far more legit than Sammy beating Cody. And I will say this, though. Doing this is good because Sammy proved himself to be a great heat magnet in the ROH Fatal 4-Way. So I think using him as a heat magnet again is a very good idea. Would he win? Probably not. As a matter of fact, he might be the guy to take the damn pin. But, that is what it is at this point. Who do I see winning? I do see MJF winning, but I could see AEW doing a good job in making all three of these guys his opponents likely winners. I could see him getting us to think, could Darby win it? Could Jack Perry win it? Because it happened with Bryan. He convinced a good portion of audiences Bryan could have won, but he didn't. Will that same thing happen here with Jack Perry and Darby? I could very likely see that, but only time will tell.
Yeah, I think this should be a great match to the end of the night. And I'm really hoping either Jack Perry or Darby Allin to win this match to me, because I feel like those two can be great. But if the thing is too is that it really depends on the men's Owen Hart finals too. If Adam Cole wins, MGF is going to win. If AR Fox wins, it might be Jack Perry or Darby Allin. I think it kind of makes sense to how I'm thinking. But I think so far right now, my biggest hope right now is Jack Perry for this title, because I think with all the struggles and just putting away Christian shows a lot, and I think this should be a great match to see. Jack Perry should win. Probably, I would say a 9 for me on this match.
I know we gotta push the other guys, but I don't want MJF's reign to end this short. I want to keep going until the next pay per
It's
view.
been 4 months already.
I don't care. We haven't gotten enough. He needs to destroy these other pillars so people can stop downing him. I would like. Don't get me wrong. If Darby Allin wins, that'd be sick. I'd be cool with it, but I don't want MJF to lose. Not to these jobless.
I feel like you're lying and you would rant.
I wouldn't. As long as it doesn't
He would.
lose to the Mountain Dew pitch black bottle, it's fine. I don't want MJF to lose.
Imagine Sammy wins.
I don't want that either.
Technically, that's gonna be a lot of booze.
I think
Oh no, that would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts.
he can be champion for like a day if he wins. And then MJF has to get the belt back on Dynamite.
Probably.
Maybe. But I
Well-
want MJF to win though. He's not done yet.
All right. I want either MJF or Darby to win. Either one of those two. I feel like Darby has waited long enough now. Personally,
Just true.
if he doesn't get his moment, that's fine. He can get it on a later date.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys would like to say about this show? If it all comes true, do you think it would be a good show?
I would say so too. It looks like a great show. We have some mysteries right now that can make it either a good show or not a good show at the same time. So to me, it might be a really good show to watch.
Yeah, I'm with it too. If it's all come to fruition, it's going to be an excellent show.
Indeed. So, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Daniel,
I've been Berman.
That'll be Chris.
and we'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.